What if everything fans have believed for years was never the full story? What if, behind the dazzling perfection of Korea's most adored idols, Jungkook and Taehyung, lies a truth so deeply emotional and tightly guarded that even the most devoted armies could never have guessed it? When Jungkook broke down in tears and spoke about Taehyung, everything changed. The confident golden magne that fans knew disappeared, replaced by a man visibly trembling beneath the weight of honesty. Those who witnessed it said it was raw, unfiltered emotion, something far too real for scripted entertainment. And when HYBE's reaction came, swift, silent, and strangely calculated, it raised questions no one could ignore. For years, Jungkook and Taehyung's relationship, affectionately celebrated by fans as Taekook, has been one of the most analyzed aspects of BTS's history. Their friendship has always appeared effortless, shared laughter, secret glances, and a connection that seemed almost telepathic. But Jungkook's emotional confession hinted at something deeper, something unresolved. According to those close to production, he had reached a breaking point. His tears were not part of a performance, they were genuine, and that authenticity made some people in HYBE's upper ranks uncomfortable. It all began during a late-night documentary segment that was reportedly never intended for full release. Jungkook sat quietly under dim lighting, reflecting on a truth he'd carried in silence. When he mentioned Taehyung's name, his voice broke, and the camera crew allegedly stopped filming. "There are things people don't know," he said softly. "And maybe they never will, because some stories aren't meant to be told." Those words, filled with pain and uncertainty, didn't sound rehearsed. They sounded like confession. Soon after, fans noticed something strange. The official trailer for the documentary, once teased as an emotional exploration, had been re-edited. The most vulnerable part, where Jungkook mentioned Taehyung, was gone. HYBE explained that certain scenes were removed for pacing and thematic focus, but many didn't buy it. Why remove the one moment that felt completely real? What was the company afraid fans might hear? Insiders claimed that Jungkook had referred to a turning point in his bond with Taehyung, something that had changed both of them. Though the comment was vague, it was emotionally heavy. Some alleged that HYBE had pressured him to stay neutral, to avoid focusing on individual relationships so as to preserve BTS's collective, untarnished image. But Jungkook's emotions betrayed that goal. His sincerity couldn't be hidden behind corporate editing. A few weeks later, Jungkook appeared on a live stream. Fans immediately noticed that his usual energy was gone. His smile was soft, almost forced, and his voice trembled slightly. Comments flooded the chat. "Are you okay? Did something happen with Taehyung?" For a few seconds, Jungkook hesitated. Then tears welled in his eyes. "There's a lot I want to say," he whispered. "But sometimes you can't say it, even when it hurts to stay silent." That brief, heartbreaking moment spread across the internet within hours. Clips went viral. Fans analyzed every tear, every pause, trying to uncover the meaning behind his words. Yet within a day, HYBE had deleted the replay. Fans who tried to rewatch it found only an unavailable message. Re-uploads were swiftly taken down. Still, the internet never forgets. Screenshots and fan recordings kept circulating, preserving the moment like a secret treasure. Theories exploded online. Some said Jungkook's tears were the product of exhaustion, the emotional toll of fame and pressure. Others were convinced his pain was linked directly to Taehyung. Old clips resurfaced, interactions once seen as casual were now dissected frame by frame. What once seemed like friendship began to look, to some, like something more complicated, something heartbreakingly human. A music industry insider offered an unsettling insight. Jungkook's loyalty to HYBE is strong, but his loyalty to the people he loves is stronger. If he felt something about Taehyung was being hidden or misrepresented, that could explain everything. You can't fake that kind of emotion. This sparked an even larger debate about the power dynamics between idols and their management. How much control do artists like Jungkook really have over their own stories? What happens when their truth doesn't align with corporate image? Meanwhile, Taehyung remained silent. His absence from social media only deepened the mystery. Some fans saw his silence as quiet support, others feared it was a sign of distance. But perhaps the truth wasn't about separation at all. Maybe it was about something that transcended friendship and fame, something rooted in shared pain, growth, and unspoken understanding. Critics have long observed how Jungkook and Taehyung mirror each other artistically, Jungkook's raw sincerity balancing Taehyung's soulful melancholy. Together, they embody BTS's emotional duality, strength and vulnerability intertwined. But that harmony might have been shaped by unspoken memories and buried emotions that fans will never fully know. Jungkook rarely lets himself cry in public, even though he feels deeply. For him to lose that composure while mentioning Taehyung suggests a wound that runs deep. And HYBE's quick reaction, removing the stream, issuing vague statements, only made things look more suspicious. Why silence something so human? Observers note that HYBE has become increasingly protective of BTS's image since their solo careers began. Every word is filtered, every scene approved, every narrative polished. The goal, brand stability. But sometimes, stability comes at the cost of authenticity. Jungkook's tears were a moment where authenticity clashed with control. And the result was too real to manage. Weeks later, whispers still circulate. Some say HYBE is quietly debating how to address the emotional fallout, others claim the company is simply waiting for it to fade. But fans aren't forgetting. To them, Jungkook's tears aren't a scandal, they're truth. Proof that beneath the perfection, their idols are human too. However, despite how emotionally gripping the story sounds, there is still no verified proof it ever happened. There's no official footage, no statement from HYBE, Jungkook, or Taehyung confirming any of this. The deleted livestream and cut documentary claims appear to have come from fan-edited clips and mistranslated interviews. Separate moments from different contexts were pieced together online to form a story that felt believable but wasn't factually supported. This doesn't mean the emotions fans felt were fake, only that emotional truth and factual truth aren't the same thing. Jungkook's compassion and Taehyung's quiet introspection have often inspired deep interpretations, but turning emotion into evidence crosses into speculation. HYBE has, in the past, asked fans to be careful with unverified stories about BTS's private lives. The company's editing policies, sometimes labeled censorship, are standard practice in the entertainment industry, meant to protect artists' privacy and ensure content aligns with creative direction. There's no credible evidence that HYBE deliberately erased a confession. In fact, they've allowed genuine vulnerability to appear in many official projects, from behind-the-scenes series to documentaries where the members speak openly about their struggles. Both Jungkook and Taehyung have consistently expressed mutual admiration and respect in interview.